words mean nothing to Putin. He's not accountable to anybody. He doesn't really care what you say. He cares what you do. So what Biden actually just did was meaningless. Didn't matter what he said. It matters what we do. So I think he said that, and in the next breath he says, "Oh, but we'd like to figure out a way to get along with the Russians," right? So he's trying to say, I'm tough, but please be nice to me. It didn't work for Obama. It's not going to work for Biden. I think it's much more significant that the U.S. signaled it was going to send warships into the Black Sea, and then they didn't, and then the Russians immediately said warships are banned from the Black Sea. I don't think.
Can you just go back to that for a second? Why? So we were going to deploy ships in the Black Sea, right in the neighborhood of Crimea. And for everyone, just a quick review, it was under the Obama administration that Crimea had this referendum and all of a sudden became a part of Russia, and this led to all these other problems. But why would we back off of that? I mean, are the Russians allowed to act like it's a private lake?
Well, what's interesting is, maybe we talked to the Russians and they said, "Oh, we won't escalate." Said, "Oh, okay, well, we won't send the ships into the Black Sea." But what's interesting is that the Russians immediately came out and said ships can't go into the Black Sea. And then Biden said, "Well, let's have a summit and talk about this stuff." And the Russians go, "Oh, well, maybe let's not have a summit," right? Because what you're doing is you're letting the Russians set the tone of the relationship rather than you setting the tone of the relationship. And I always think it's bad to be a weekend with the Russians.
What is the Putin, within the realm of a realistic aim, Jim, what is he trying to get in Ukraine specifically? What is he trying to bring about?
Right. Well, what Putin would like is he would like to have hard control over the countries on his border. And key to that is really to have a Europe that's disunified and to have America out. That's the dream, right? How do you achieve that? Putin doesn't know how to achieve that. He's a tactician. He's not a strategist. So what he does is he creates conditions, and then he sees if there's opportunities to exploit. And if there are, he does. If there aren't, he goes back to the dacha, and he dances with a bear or rides naked horseback or something.
We also have Adam Schiff here on the Biden, although it does feel like the third term of the Obama administration in many ways, but the Biden administration, Adam Schiff talking about how this is a president who's really going to stand up to the Russians. Play that one.
What is your reaction to the sanctions as they were issued today?
Oh, very powerful. It will definitely put a crimp in the Russian economy. Thank God we have a president again who's willing to stand up to Vladimir Putin.
I just think Adam Schiff is delusional and a liar in general. But I mean, on the specifics of the point here, Jim, I'll pass this to you. So Putin's getting more aggressive, and what Adam Schiff takes from that is it's because Biden will stand up to him. It seems like Putin disagrees.
Well, that was just a fatuous comment. I mean, the sanctions that we laid down today, for Trump, that was Tuesday. Of course you're going to do sanctions, but sanctions don't affect the Russian behavior. You have to punish them with sanctions, but that's not enough. What deters them is their fear that you're going to stand up to them. And Putin doesn't care what you say. He doesn't care what Adam Schiff says or what Biden says. He cares what America does. So if he sees some sanctions, he's like, whatever, right? But when the U.S. actually makes statements on the ground, that gets Putin's attention. And the president doesn't do that. As a matter of fact, he does the opposite. He goes, "Don't make me do more, Mr. Putin, because I really want to get along with you." Look, this is the same strategy with the Chinese. It's a complete replay of the Obama strategy. We'll compete where we must, but we need to cooperate where we can. Well, with Russia and China, there's nothing that we can cooperate on that's meaningful. So that's just saying you're going to do that is weakness, because there is no cooperation. And if you're going to compete, dude, you got to compete on the ground. And slapping sanctions, they're important. You should do that. You should punish people. But that's not what deters Putin on the strategic level. Kill Nord Stream 2. This is the pipeline that the Russians want to do with the Germans, which would undermine European energy security. Kill that. Put that in the grave. That gets Putin's attention. Start arguing Ukraine should be in NATO. That'll get Putin's attention. Send ships in the Black Sea. Say, hey, do something about that. Those are the kind of things that'll get Putin nervous. Not that I'm anything wrong with the sanctions. We should do those. But for Adam Schiff
drop in the bucket.
I mean,
yeah.
After Trump every day. Yeah.
Putin's worth what? We estimate $20-25 billion. Him and the oligarchs, they'll be fine. They're not going to starve because of the sanctions. So as much as we like to pretend that that's going to...
They have plenty of Russians that can starve for them. They don't need to.
Yeah. Look, I have a very astute friend of mine once told me that you got to remember, with true of sanctions, true of a lot of things, nothing brings Russians together like suffering. That's what she told me, and she's from there. So it's something you got to remember, too. They start to look at the rest of the world and say, okay, so now you're going to punish us to show Putin? I mean, the whole thing, it's a little bit of a miss. But anyway, James, great to see you, buddy. Talk to you soon.
Hey, thanks. Thanks for having me, brother.
Thanks for watching the Heritage Foundation's YouTube channel. With more than 500,000 members, we are the nation's largest conservative research and education institution. We believe the principles and ideas of the American founding are worth conserving and renewing. Please help us further our mission by subscribing to this channel and sharing our videos with your family and friends.